Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The 2024 Volleyball League of America Men's Tier 1 Championship match to crown a first ever champion in this division. The Boston Bounce takes on the Indiana Team Pineapple live from just outside Cincinnati, Ohio. This is a rematch from yesterday morning's first match of the tournament in pool play. Boston pretty cleanly destroyed Indiana 3-0, but the Indiana Team Pineapple has caught fire just in time and with their backs against the wall, sort of as they have all season long. And it doesn't look like he'll start the match, but he is ready and his presence is felt. Volleyball, the 52-year-old legend, the owner of the Team Pineapple franchise, co-founder of the VLA. He is a big reason why this Indiana team is playing for their first ever title in the 5th official championship in VLA history. The first two in 2020 and 2021 were won by the Chicago Icemen. The last two in 2022 and 2023 were won by the New York Legion Volleyball Club, Team LVC. But it was Team Pineapple who kind of came out of nowhere to upset Team LVC in the semifinal just before this, 3-0, to reach their first championship match ever. And the Boston Bounce, the #1 seed coming into this tournament, having won the East Division Cup in New York back in April, they are in the championship match for the second season in a row. Last year came up short against their East Division rivals from LVC, but they already have a win over Team Pineapple this weekend. The starting lineups for Indiana at the center position will be Chris Cox, who gets the start, number 15 out of Lindenwood. Bruno Amorim da Silva, the legendary Brazilian, number 19 at opposite. Trevor Phillips and Dante Stewart will be the outside hitters. Matt Harpenow and Matt Walsh will be the middle blockers, and Luis Bertrand will be the libero. And on the Boston Bounce side, Connor Adams will be the setter. Hunter Oshman will be the opposite, who was terrific at the East Division Cup that Boston won in April. Jeff Vautrin and Ben Putnam will be the outside hitters. Tom Leahy and Brandon Duns will be the middle blockers, and Jordan Aprea will be the libero. Storylines are huge in this match. First ever VLA championship on the line for either team. The Indiana Team Pineapple, one of our founding 5 VLA franchises, helped put this league together back just before the pandemic. Hosted at Volleyball's gym in Northeast Indiana several major VLA events, including the first one ever in the summer of 2020. But they have never played for a Tier 1 championship, and the Boston Bounce have made the playoffs now in each of their 3 seasons as a Tier 1 franchise, and like I said, have now reached the final for the second season in a row. This game continues to grow coast to coast. The league continues to grow all over the country. And of all the teams to represent the Central Division in this championship match, Team Pineapple was the least likely by far coming into the season and coming into really the VLA Cup in Madison. Team Pineapple started the season 0-6. They started the season 1-7, but then even here in this building at the Central Division Cup here in Ohio, did not have a good tournament there. But at the VLA Cup, Volleyball suited up at age 52 to help them get 13 points to make the playoffs by just 1 point. And here they are in the final. We are underway with Boston and White serving on the far side, and it's Brandon Duns, the middle blocker out of St. Francis University in Pennsylvania, then Wentworth Institute of Technology near Boston. Picks up the float service ace through the hands of Luis Bertrand, and we are underway for the 2024 Tier 1 championship match, and Duns follows that ace up with a service error. Boston in white on the far side, Indiana in black and green on the near side. Matty Ice, as they call him. Matt Harpenow, number 17 in black, serving first for Team Pineapple. And a big stuff block. Look at Bruno. The Brazilian veteran journeyman has played all over the world and now lives in Indiana. Married Kim McConaughey, who's a standout player at Purdue. Bruno doesn't suit up often for Team Pineapple, only once or twice a year, but he is ageless. Big block there on Ben Putnam. And back to the right side to Hunter Oshman. Pretty good stab there by Cox off the block touch. Bruno in transition. Beautiful pickup by Adams, but it's not coming back. Great start for Team Pineapple at 3-1. And Bruno has had a lot to do with the early goings for Team Pineapple. He rested this morning's semifinal win. Dyer Ball, Loy's son, started at opposite and played great in the win against Team LVC. Putnam challenges the hands and hits a good high flat shot. Off the 6 hands and out of here. Ben Putnam, number 18, a Boston native, just finished his playing career at Ohio State. As the Buckeyes, from just over an hour down the road, made the NCAA tournament again this year. Beautiful pass by Trevor Phillips, the outside hitter for Indiana, but then hit out of bounds in the middle by big Matt Walsh. Number 24 in black, 6'11", first team all VLA middle blocker 2 seasons ago. Not a good start to his championship match. Hunter Oshman, number 20. The opposite for Boston, back to serve. Dante Stewart underneath it barely as it clips off the tape. Recycled by Walsh into the block. And now Bruno on the right side is blocked and covered. Nice chase down by Phillips. But now a free ball chance here for the Frogs. Putnam down the line. This time Bruno leaves some space and Putnam takes advantage. And the Boston Bounce take the lead, founded by Jeff Vautrin. Founded and led and both on and off the court by Jeff Vautrin. Boston played at the Tier 2 level in the 2021 season, were promoted the season after that. It was their 3rd year in VLA Tier 1. Made the playoffs each year. Bruno Amorim da Silva, first look at the service line. This dude has a rocket for a right shoulder. A serve right on cue. Look at that. Bruno torches one in the seam between Putnam and Vautrin. Real good sign for Indiana to get Bruno looking this good early and just the ability to give him a rest in the semifinal match. Bruno unleashes again. Vautrin fights it off. Now Putnam against 3 blockers. Through the block somehow and down on the Indiana side. Boston catches a break on that one. They get Bruno off the service line. Ben Putnam back to serve. Phillips fights it off. Dante Stewart chases it down. It'll be a free ball here for Boston. Middle blocker Tom Leahy handles the first contact and gets it on offense and scores off the block and out of bounds. Tom Leahy, number 25 in white, played collegiately at both St. Francis and Ohio State. 6'9" monster of a 23-year-old. It was good to see Boston getting some youth into their roster. As that serve out of bounds is dodged by Phillips. Like this outside hitter duo a lot for Indiana. Dante Stewart serving now out of Indiana Tech. And Trevor Phillips out of Ball State, number 29, who just gets to the front court. They played great at the VLA Cup, where Team Pineapple got 13 points to make the playoffs just by 1. Perfect pass there. Vautrin against 1 blocker is scooped by the Puerto Rican Luis Bertran. Now Bruno out of the back row, down the line and in, right on the baseline. Outstanding dig by Luis Bertran. A libero out of Puerto Rico by way of IPFW. Dante Stewart serving once again. Has a match-winning stuff block at 29-27 in the 3rd against Team LVC in the semis. Vautrin, deep cross-court swing. Good dig by Stewart. Transition chance. Bruno on the right side. Rip cross-court again. Bruno Amorim da Silva. What a start. 8-6 Indiana, and Bruno's got at least half of those Indiana points. Can't say enough about the presence of Loy Ball on the Indiana sideline. They started 1-7 this season. Loy was not in the building for any of those regular season matches, but he knew what he needed to do to help this team get to this spot, and a big block there by Matt Walsh to shut down Hunter Oshman out of the back row. Loy himself suited up at age 52 for a good portion of the VLA Cup tournament. Got to play with his son Dyer, set a VLA record for length of set at 49-47, a set that Indiana won against Team LVC with a Loy ball one-on-one stuff block. Leahy in the middle, slowed down nicely by Walsh. Tricky swing from Phillips, an inside ball slowed down now by Leahy. Transition attack on. Putnam ripped out of the back row. Bertrand couldn't handle the heat. First look at Leahy from the service line. Put some pressure on Stewart's hands. Phillips out of system, ripped between two blockers, and out of bounds as Bertrand chases it down by the Indiana sideline. Heck of a swing there by Trevor Phillips. Once the Indiana native, stayed at home to play collegiately at Ball State. Conservative serve there from Walsh, handled perfectly. Oshman out of the back row, dug by Bruno. That is inbounds and hand pass by Vautrin. Putnam out of the back row, nice stab by Stewart. Bruno in transition to make him pay, does. High off the hands and out of bounds. And Loy Ball just smiles and laughs on the sideline. As he knows, he's been playing with Bruno Amorim since pre-pandemic, since pre-VLA. Really good rip there by Walsh down the line on Vautrin. He'll take a swing against three blockers. Deep cross court and missed out of bounds. Not good hand contact. 12-7, the start in set number one for Team Pineapple for this championship match. Time out Boston. Really can't overstate how improbable it is that Team Pineapple is even here. The fact that they even made the playoffs after the horrendous start to the season that they had is really nothing short of a miracle. 0-4 in their first regular season event, 1-3 in the second regular season event, 1-3 and a 14th place finish out of 16 teams at the Central Division Cup here in this gym in Hamilton, Ohio. 2-10 was Indiana's record to start the year. But then they ripped off a 4-1 weekend with 13 points at the VLA Cup in Madison just about a month ago. It was just enough to get into the playoffs by 1 point. And then they had to fight pretty hard too yesterday in pool play, because they, like I mentioned, they got stomped by the Boston Bounce 3-0 first thing in the morning. They then rebounded to beat their Central Division rivals in the Chicago Swede 3-1. Then they needed help. They needed Boston to beat Swede in order for Team Pineapple to finish second in the pool, and that is exactly what happened. Then Indiana beat their founding five rival New York in the semifinals. Ooh, nice shot down the line there by Vautrin. Expect an outside hitter to rip a ball against a one-on-one, but he finds some space. Well done there. So Boston out of the timeout. It's the point they were looking for. Another really good season for the Boston Bounce. They finally got that cup tournament win that they've been desperately looking for the past few years. Come close several times, but got over the hump with a win. 3-1 over the DC Dynasty. That ball, that block is just barely out of bounds. Boston won the East Division Cup. Went undefeated at 5-0 in doing so. And they were the only Tier 1 team to win one of the cup tournaments in the regular season, which gave them the #1 seed entering the playoffs here this weekend. Putnam deep cross court, nice stab by Stewart. Phillips deep cross court looking for fingertips and did not find them, nor did he find the baseline. And it hasn't been without team reinforcements that Team Pineapple has made this amazing comeback effort. Luis Bertrand is back in the mix. Matt Walsh is back in the mix. Bruno Amorim da Silva is back in the mix. Excellent run there from Chris Cox to Matt Harpenau, but another guy that deserves credit is Chris Cox. Number 15 in black, now living here in Cincinnati. formerly played for the Chicago Icemen when he was living up in Chicago, but he stepped in to fill a really important spot for Team Pineapple earlier in the season, as they didn't really know what they were doing at the center position. Cox came in, got them their first win of the season, provided a lot of stability, and without him, they would not be in this moment. Cox with the ball in his hands, gives it to Bruno on the right side, through the block of Putnam. It rattles around and scores. I want to thank all of you, by the way, for watching here on YouTube. The last match, or at least the last round of matches for the entire VLA season. We've also got the Tier 2 championship match between the DC Dynasty and the Chandler Team 9 going on the other side of the curtain from here. Nice high rip there by Oshman on the right side. See a lot of activity in the YouTube live chat, which is great. Keep that going. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, who your favorite player is. If you have any of your favorite moments from this VLA season, it's been an incredible season. I want to open up the database and give you guys the number of matches that the league has produced this year. It's pretty insane. Pretty nice touch there. Adams is able to chase it down. Good rundown. 3-ball chance here for Team Pineapple. Bruno gets his feet to that ball and blasts it off the block of Leahy and out of bounds. 16-10 Team Pineapple leads, taking the entire league by storm in this tournament. Took them a while to figure it out, especially after the loss to Bounce yesterday. But they have only dropped one set since. Here's Harpenau. Pretty good pass by Vautrin. Putnam, smart shot there down the line. Off the elbow of Bruno and out of play. Perfect pass by Phillips there against Oshman. Another one to Bruno, and he's stuffed straight down. Big time block by Ben Putnam. Leahy there as well, chasing to help close. That was all number 18, white and purple. This is we've got a lot of really good-looking teams in this league, but this is a phenomenal uniform matchup. The Boston in white and light purple, Indiana black and vibrant green. Big shout outs to Novice Clothing Company, our official apparel provider of all of our Tier 1 teams. And look at that, Putnam throws that ball through the block and down with 2 hands. No lift called. (13-16). Oshman on a bit of a run here from the service line. Stewart steps in to pass that ball. He'll get a swing against the block of Connor Adams, and Adams is there for the basically a one-on-one rejection. Connor Adams, number 6 out of Wentworth Institute of Technology, at 24 years of age. And that stuff block there helped Boston to continue to gain momentum. It is a 2-point first set. Chris Cox, the Indiana setter, getting some feedback from Volleyball on the sideline to engineer a side out and end this run. Boston on a bit of a roll here, still trailing by 2. Oshman working on Phillips. Not a great pass. Bruno down the line. That ball is long, barely long. It was inbounds on the sideline, but it was just long. Good looking swing, but the Boston run continues. Bruno still can't believe it. Having some words with the line judge. Oshman serves again. Tight pass by Phillips. What a rescue! Chris Cox gets up with one hand, Gets there just in time to feed big Matt Walsh, who dented the floorboards. That is a heck of a play by the 6'6" Chris Cox, the setter out of Lindenwood. And a big point, too, to get Indiana out of that rotation. 2-point lead. Bruno back to serve. Already has an ace. Pretty good fight-off pass by Vautrin. Oshman out of the back row. Not quite in sync. Sends over a free ball. Stewart high off the hands. And Aprea reaching. Can't get there. Break point for Indiana on Bruno's serve. 18-15 Team Pineapple. Boston needs side out right here. Ace serve. Oh my goodness, what a rip by Bruno. Wrist away, thumb down. It's a position 5, Putnam nowhere close. Time out Boston. Man, what a momentum back and forth shift we have here. Boston went on a run, got back within 1 point, and Indiana calling timeout, getting 3 in a row subsequently. And think back to that rescue set by Chris Cox. A ball that might have been overpassed, but Cox had the length to get a hand on it and set it to Matt Walsh. Right now, that's the margin. Otherwise, this first set could be very different. Getting good here. (19-15) Team Pineapple out of this timeout. Bruno Amorim da Silva, hot in general, but especially from the baseline. Can Boston stop him? Good pass by Aprea. Oshman cross court out of the back row. Bruno makes the play. Cox keeps it alive and not handled super well by either team. Now basically a free ball chance. Leahy in the middle for Boston is slowed down. Good touch by Walsh. Bruno off the block and out of bounds. Bruno Amorim da Silva is fired up, and he will continue to serve now with a 5-point lead. Boston had a couple decent looks, but couldn't terminate to end this run. Vautrin fights it off again. Adams is there to chase it down. Putnam against 3 blockers. Bertrand is there. Stewart in transition over the block looking for fingertips and did not find them. So the run ends, but the damage was certainly done. A 4-point Indiana lead as Ben Putnam now goes back to serve. Good dig by Aprea down the line against Bruno. Hittable ball for Oshman. Phillips is there. Bruno again through the block of Leahy and down on the Boston side. And now Dante Stewart back to serve. The outside hitter out of Indiana Tech, a very good and up-and-coming NAIA program. And just had a curtain knocked something over by the court, so we'll make sure that gets at least out of the player's way. Rotation 5 receive for Boston. Adams a front court setter. And Vautrin lets that one go out of bounds. Here's big Tom Leahy at 6'9", but not his best service effort there. Putnam out of the back row. Excellent run there by Adams. But that is the easy part for Boston at this stage in the set. Got to do some work here. Connor Adams back to serve. A pretty good blocking rotation for the Boston bounce. Cox initiates the joust, and Oshman is there, but he touches the net on the follow-through. Wow, Oshman called for the net touch by the down official, and he doesn't argue. Team Pineapple 2 points away. Putnam, nice swing there through the block, cross court. Vautrin back to serve, back-to-back first-team All-VLA honoree at the outside hitter position. Very dangerous from the service line, gets a lucky break there off the tape. Stewart fights it off. Bruno on the left side goes down the line and did not get the touch. Ball out of bounds. And if Boston is able to go on a bit of a run here with Vautrin to trap Indiana in rotation 1, this set is definitely not over. This is the run, though. Can Vautrin keep it in play again? Yes, he can. Just out of bounds. No, never mind. That was very close. I thought that ball might have caught the baseline. 24-20 set point Team Pineapple. Trevor Phillips back to serve. Pretty good pressure handled beautifully by Aprea. Duns destroyed in the middle. Quick side out there with authority by number 1 in white. But again, that was the easy part. Now got to do some work on Duns' serve. No substitution coming in to serve here for bounce. I'm a little bit surprised. Rotation 2 chance here for one side out for Indiana to take set 1 of this championship match, and they get it the easy way. A float service error. Indiana Team Pineapple takes the first set of their first championship match in league history, 25-21, and one of the great Cinderella runs of all time gets one step closer to resulting in a trophy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome behind our little broadcast setup. My name is Rob St. Clair, live from the Spooky Nook Champion Mill facility just outside Cincinnati in Hamilton, Ohio. This spot's been a really good host for us this year. We had the Central Division Cup here back in March, excuse me, and here we are to cap off what's been just an incredible season. And we get to give this away, the beautiful 2024 VLA Championship Trophy, going to one of these teams, hoping to take it home for the first time ever. Like I mentioned in the intro, the Chicago Icemen won the first 2 titles in league history. The New York Legion out of Albany won the next 2, and this is the 5th official championship in the history of the league, and this is going back to either Indiana or Boston for the first time ever. It would be a really big deal for either team. Boston been slowly climbing up the VLA ladder, improving every single year, getting farther and farther, playing better and better volleyball. We got that tournament win this year at the East Division Cup. And would be incredibly validating for just the whole Boston area volleyball scene to win this trophy and take it back to the East Coast. But for Team Pineapple, I documented the run that they've been on after a terrible start to the season. Started 0-6, started 1-7. They were 2-10 at one point, then went on a miraculous run, going 4-1 with 13 points, losing only to the eventual champion River City Flow at the VLA Cup. Got here by just 1 point, and all you got to do is get to the dance and anything can happen for Volleyball's franchise that honestly has struggled since the VLA was founded. Team Pineapple, I like to call them like the New England Patriots of volleyball, because the 2010s decade, Team Pineapple dominated, and Volleyball was the direct analog to Tom Brady. But since the VLA was founded in 2019, and since the first tournament in Loy's Gym in 2020, Indiana has not been particularly close to winning a championship the way they are very close right now. So the storylines are insane. The run by both of these teams this season has been very different, but very unique to get them here to play for this championship. We'll see who takes the trophy home. Set number 2 ready to go. Putnam throws that ball into the block, gets it recycled. Good play by Stewart to keep it alive. And Bruno, though, not ready to get set, still in for either block coverage or I'm not sure what. But Boston takes the first point of set number 2. Pretty good service pressure there by Duns on the floater. That ball is hit just barely out of bounds by Bruno, deep cross court. Looking for the position 5 corner and didn't miss by much. Rotation 1 receive for Team Pineapple. Ooh, I like that float serve from Duns a lot. But crushed in the middle by Matty Ice. Matt Harpenow, Cincinnati native, home game for him. Runs that little bit of a push drift route and hammers it cross body. Indiana on the board. Beautiful pass by Aprea. Oshman, deep cross court, off of Phillips and out of here. Phillips maybe a little bit too far into the court to dig that ball. Hunter Oshman, number 20 in white, out of Wentworth Institute of Technology, an extremely good Division III program in Boston. Was massive at the East Division Cup, which bounced 1, and he delivers an ace right there. Only 22 years of age, turns 23 in August. Got a really good VLA future in front of him. Nice start to set number 2 for the Boston Bounce. Perfect pass by Stewart. Harpenow in the middle again, dug by Oshman, back to Indiana. Cox to Stewart, ripped down the line. Man, Dante Stewart is having himself a match so far. In all phases, serving, reception, attack. He's got that match-winning block in the semifinal. Harpenow back to serve, who's also looked great. Perfect pass by Vautrin. Vautrin out of the back row on the big combination. Excellent choice there by Adams. Love seeing that as a primary part of the Boston offense. We've seen it to both Putnam and Vautrin. That play invented by Brazil, but now really a staple of high-level offenses everywhere. The back row quick or Bick attack to that position 6 outside hitter. Good pass by Stewart. Walsh in the middle, tipped, blocked by Leahy, and can't quite be covered. Battle of the Giants there, 6'9" versus 6'11". Leahy wins the battle that time. Pretty good serve by Putnam. Cox chases it down. Tricky ball for Bruno. He takes a swing, but Aprea is there. Vautrin, deep cross court and perfect. Man, Jeff Vautrin is up there, only about 6'2". Turned 30 years old yesterday. Happy late birthday to the Boston captain and founder. And he is playing as good a volleyball as he ever has, and his team leads by 5 early in set number 2, forcing a very early Team Pineapple timeout. Putnam out of the timeout, just over the tape. Phillips is there. Stewart rejected, but covered nicely. Stewart again. Tools the block of Adams. What a block coverage play. I think that was big Matt Walsh who got down low to keep that ball off the floor. Clutch coverage play by number 24 in black. Excellent move by Aprea to pass that ball from Bruno and hammered on the left side by Vautrin. Wow, what a first ball side out play that is. That was gorgeous. Leahy working on Phillips from the service line. Stewart against two blockers. Nice high off the fingertip swing. That deflects out of the reach of Putnam. Stewart back to serve. Fort Wayne, Indiana native. Perfect pass by Putnam. And Dunn's in the middle, cross body. No touch and just missed the sideline. Or did it? That ball is called in bounds. So the kill for Dunn's in the middle for Boston. 9-4 is the score. Change-up serve there from Adams, handled pretty well. Phillips down the line into the chest of Adams and not able to be kept alive. Nice range being shown by really all three Team Pineapple wings. Their block vision and shot selection has been really good so far in my opinion. Walsh, one of the better serving middle blockers in the league when he's on. Pretty good one there, working on Vautrin. Inside ball to Vautrin on the back two. Wow, look at that individual play. Vautrin reaches to his right to pass a really tough serve, then gets his feet right behind the setter for a little bit of a trick play. That was awesome. Very nicely done by number 17 in white. And he'll go back to serve here. He works on Phillips down the line. Decent pass. Bruno on the right side. Scoop by Aprea. What a dig down the line. Thrown towards the net, and Putnam tips it over the fingertips and finds the floor. What a dig by Jordan Aprea. And while Bruno Amorim da Silva completely dominated the first set for Indiana, he has been extremely quiet since. And now a middle blocker change. Alejandro Robles, number 28 in black, comes in for Matt Harpenow. Wasn't convinced that the middle blocker had anything to do with the deficit for Indiana right now, but Volleyball disagrees. Perfect pass by Stewart. And the rejection, I think, either Phillips came up short or Oshman caught a piece of it. It's 11-6. And it should be 12-6, I believe. Yes, it is. Get that updated here in just a moment. There it is. Vautrin again. Good serving. Up into the rafters. No touch on the ceiling. Bruno on the right side off of Putnam and out of bounds. That might have hit Putnam in the top of the head. Chris Cox back to serve. One-on-one chance for Oshman. Gets his feet to the inside and pounds it cross court off the defense. Boston got their receivers in sync on who was going to pass that ball just in time. Vautrin delivered it perfectly. Now Brandon Dunn's the big middle blocker serving. Perfect pass by Bertrand. Phillips on the right side, stabbed at by Adams off the block touch, but that is not coming back. Good chase down effort by Vautrin, but not going to get there. And now another substitution, Mark Bergman, number 33 in black, in to serve and play defense for Trevor Phillips. And that serve by Bergman comes up just barely short by maybe an inch. Bergman will stay in, though, to pass and play the backcourt outside hitter position for Indiana. Oshman back to serve. Oh, what an unlucky break for Team Pineapple. Equally lucky for Hunter Oshman, off the tape and right on the sideline in front of a diving Dante Stewart. 15-8 the score. Team Pineapple burns their second and final timeout. Down by 7. Boston looking good to equalize this championship match at 1 apiece. Team Pineapple get Bruno going once again the same way they did in the first set. Got to pass this ball first, as now Indiana is out of timeouts. Bergman is underneath it. Stewart against 2 blockers, cross court and just in front of Jordan Aprea. Nice high swing by Putnam, but Robles, the middle blocker, is there defensively. Stewart down the line. Oshman is there. Oshman can have a swing. He sends it over as a free ball. Bruno against 2 blockers, down the line and in. What a shot by Bruno Amorim da Silva. That was special to get his feet to an inside ball like that and turn his shoulder back to the sideline. That's incredible. Couple momentum building points for Team Pineapple after that timeout. Still down by 5. Robles' serve is inbounds. Putnam again, straight over the block and down. No stopping that. The youngster out of Ohio State from Needham, Massachusetts, just outside Boston. Perfect pass there by Bergman and crushed in the middle by Matt Walsh, no problem. The big man out of Ball State, the beneficiary there of very good ball handling by Indiana on that play. Here is Bruno. What does he have from the service line? Pretty good one. Putnam fights it off. Vautrin will take a swing against 3 blockers, and he's rejected. Anchored by Walsh. Cox and Stewart there as well. All started with some good service pressure. 12-16. Sort of a mirror of the score we saw in the first set. It was 16-12 Indiana when Boston made a run to make it interesting. Can Indiana do the same now, down by the same score? No luck this time on the serve from Bruno, coming up short. Perfect pass by Stewart, and a textbook put away down the line. That is such a good individual play by number 25 in black. And now Bergman will go back to the bench for Trevor Phillips. So job done by Bergman to play the backcourt. Stewart back to serve. Beautiful pass by Putnam. Vautrin scooped by Stewart up into the ceiling and deflected over to the Boston side. Too hot to handle from Jeff Vautrin. Connor Adams, one of several very good setters in the mix for the Boston Bounce. Takes Stewart out of the play with the short float serve. Phillips down the line, dodged by Adams to allow it to go out of bounds long. 19-13. Boston extends. Indiana is out of timeouts. Bertrand is underneath that ball as it clips off the tape. Bruno out of the back row off the late blocking hand of Duns. And out of bounds. Robles back to the front court as the middle blocker substituted in a couple rotations ago. Matt Walsh to serve. Good fight off pass by Aprea. Oshman high into the hands, covered by Putnam. Oshman again, this time unstoppable on the left side. And both of these teams, I've been impressed by their comfort levels in rotation one. Oshman looks good on the left. Bruno has a lot of experience playing outside hitter, hitting on the left. A lot of teams get trapped in that rotation, but not these two. Here's Vautrin, Boston's fearless leader. That is out of bounds. No, never mind. Just barely touched by the fingertips of Oshman. Happened right in front of the up official, so he saw that fingertip deflection. 15-20. That score is incorrect. We'll get that fixed. Nice hang time there from Oshman against a one-on-one. Jumped a little early, but had the wings to levitate and tap it down cross court. 21-15 for Duns. High flat swing by Bruno off the block of Leahy and out of bounds. The Team Pineapple deficit is 5. Wow, nice serve there by Phillips. Aprea barely able to keep it alive as he dives to his right. Recycled off the block by Oshman. Still alive, and Leahy actually ends up taking a swing at it in the middle, and he's rejected by Stewart. Indiana produces a point there, and an excellent serve from Trevor Phillips set it up. Another good pass by Aprea. Leahy hammered in the middle off of Bertrand and out of here, 22-17. Oh, I see the Vautrin family in the chat. Jeff's mom and dad from Massachusetts, and wishing Jeff a happy 30th birthday from yesterday. Love to see that. Thanks for watching. Boston does lead by 5, looking to equalize this match, and another big block. Stewart rejected this time. I think Adams got most of that one. Oshman again. Alejandro Robles back to serve for Indiana. Ball a little bit overset, and a lift is called against Putnam. And I kind of agree with that. It looked like he reached outside, caught that ball behind his head a little bit before trying to throw it through the block. But now the standard is set for what is a lift, according to this officiating crew. Wow, huge block by Walsh. Massive left-handed slam. And it is only a 3-point game. Timeout Boston, just to make sure they get organized to talk about siding out this rotation. Man, the parallels with set number 1 are pretty remarkable. It's pretty much the exact same situation on the other side. It'll all be about the service pressure that Indiana can put on after this timeout. Can they serve inbounds and with some pace? Out of the timeout, Putnam over the block and out of bounds. Okay, it's only a 2-point set. Alejandro Robles keeping it alive from the baseline, just putting float serves in play. Indiana trying to trap Boston into some favorable blocking matchups. 21-23, perfect pass, Putnam again. Recycled by Bruno, but a net touch. Oh my goodness, Indiana touched the net on the block. And now Boston has set point. Putnam has the honors, number 18 in white, 24-21. Looking to tie this championship match at 1 apiece. Perfect pass by Phillips and destroyed by Walsh again. Not yet. And now, ooh, this is an interesting substitution, a blocking substitution. Dyer Ball, Loy's son, number 14 in black, who just finished his career at Ball State. In for Cox to block as Bruno goes back to serve. So no recognized setter on the floor right now for Team Pineapple. Set point here for Boston, but they've got to fight off one of the best servers in the league. Putnam up into the rafters. Adams high ball to Vautrin for the set against 3 blockers, and he scores. What a smart shot. What a clutch side out that was by the Boston Bounce. Indiana pushed them hard as they made a comeback, but Boston pushed it over the finish line. 25-22, the set 2 score. It is a best of 3 from here on out to decide the 2024 VLA champion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rob St. Clair once again from behind the broadcast setup. Good match so far. We wouldn't have it any other way to culminate this season in a banger in the final. That's what it's all about. Just to kind of put into perspective what the VLA has accomplished this season. We started all the way back in January, held so many gigantic tournaments, expanded the VLA Cup to its biggest ever at 42 teams. I haven't counted the official match total yet, but it's close to 200 official VLA matches on the season. That's not counting exhibitions. We've grown the women's division to 16 teams. We've grown the total VLA team base to 73 as of my last count. Just the reach that this league is having coast to coast, and hopefully even across some borders soon to the north and the south. If you're watching from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Canada, and you want to put a team in the league, please do. We'd love to have you. Just what the VLA has accomplished this year has been tremendous. It's been great to be a part of it. It's been great to have you all along for the ride, and a lot of people to thank. Several of our important sponsors without whom this wouldn't be possible. Novice Clothing Company, Mikasa, our volleyball supplier, Stat Together, our official statistics, live streaming, database, match management platform. Trust me, I know how impossible it would be to manage a league of 73 teams without Stat Together, so big thanks to them. Thanks to our partners at the JVA and the AAU, the Amateur Athletic Union, for their support and helping us with some events and some infrastructure stuff. Big thanks to a lot of our media team. Eric Adams and Jay and Rochelle Zapanta are here. Todd Jay is our director of photography. Eric Martin, our director of graphics. Michael Wooten from Team Woot, our director of broadcasting and our lead producer for this event. The league would not look nearly as good on our broadcast if it weren't for Michael and his wife Kyung, who's come a bunch this season to help us out with events. Just the reach the league is having now, we're really proud of it. And I definitely speak on behalf of the VLA board when I thank you all for being a part of it, and thanks everyone who helps make this league a possibility. And it comes into culmination and comes to a conclusion in a match like this, which we're really excited for. Best of 3 from here on out, ready to go with set number 3. Alejandro Robles gets the start at middle blocker here to start set 3 for Indiana. And he gets the ball immediately from Chris Cox and scores. Indiana in black and green on the near side, Boston in white and purple on the far side, tied 1-1. Best of 3 scenario starting now to win the 2024 VLA championship. Nice deep cross-court swing right there by Oshman. And he points, recognizing his own accuracy. Oshman working on Stewart. Tight pass, beautiful play by Bear trying to pick it up, but Cox, as he went over to try and put up some hands in front of it, touched the net on the way down. 2-1 Boston, and credit to the serving of Hunter Oshman. Beautiful pass by Stewart. Bruno on the right side, deep cross court and touched by the block on its way out of bounds. Bruno was extremely hot in the first set. Led Indiana in scoring and in energy, but has been a little bit quieter since. Bruno unleashes that one from the service line, but Vautrin casually ducks out of the way to let it go out of bounds. Ben Putnam, the Buckeye, back to serve. That ball is in. Ace serve by Putnam right inside the baseline. Phillips thought he could dodge it and let it go long, and that gamble did not pay off. 4-2 bounce. And the Purple Frogs. You definitely see some familiar names in the chat rooting for the Purple Frogs. Nice rip there down the line by Bruno. Bruno's a pretty gnarly competitor as well on the sand and on the grass. I've seen him do some real damage in some pretty high-level beach tournaments as a doubles, either blocker or defender. This guy can really do it all. One of the most versatile players I've ever seen. Grew up in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Played all over the world before settling down in Indiana, of all places. Tom Leahy, the big young middle blocker, puts some service pressure here on Phillips, who will have to fix his own passing mistake and cannot. Out of bounds down the line, no touch off the fingers. That float serve there by Leahy misses out of bounds. Here is Matt Walsh, sorely missed by Indiana in the early part of the season, and has been a big impactor since he rejoined midway through the season, but he comes up short there from the service line. Here's Adams, and he returns the favor. can hear Volleyball loud and clear. Got to work through it, got to work through it, got to play hard. Nobody cares if we're tired. He's got that right. Nice dig there by Bertrand. Duns, not great connection. Can Bruno terminate? Yes, he can. There comes the energy on the Indiana side. Look at Loy, look at him. Look how animated he is. Right in the foreground of your living room. Here's Cox, trailing by 1. Flicked all the way to the Vautrin on the right side, a little bit overset, and Vautrin can't handle it. Comes up just short as he tries to keep it in play. We're tied up at 7. Slow start for Indiana here in the third. They have woken up. Nice deep cross-court restorative shot there from Jeff Vautrin for Boston. Vautrin working on Stewart. Bruno with an out-of-system swing. Pretty good touch there by Aprea. Vautrin drops the elbow out of the back row and comes up short as he tried to send it back to position 1. Nice out-of-system swing there by Bruno Amorim da Silva with 6 hands in his face. Didn't score, but put Boston under a lot of pressure. Here's Phillips. Perfect pass. Oshman right through the arms of Stewart. The field goal is good. Only worth 1 point, not 3. Hunter Oshman having himself a very nice match as Brandon Duns goes back to serve. Oh, I see former superstar Team Pineapple libero Sean Dryden in the chat. Shawnee, good to see you, buddy. Pretty good block touch there by Leahy to slow down Stewart. Transition chance. Oshman kept alive by Robles. Now Bruno thrown off the block of Putnam. I like that. Bruno was not super happy earlier with Putnam's two-handed attacking style. And he gives him some of his own medicine there. The veteran versus the youngster taking cues from one another's game. Fun high-level stuff. Adams to Putnam, slowed down brilliantly by Walsh. Bruno again in transition, hammered off the block of Putnam and out of here. Great setting by Chris Cox. 10-9, Indiana takes the lead, and Alejandro Robles, a surprisingly very productive server from the middle blocker spot, off the bench midway through set 2. Blocked by Walsh and just barely out of bounds. Couldn't quite contain that swing. Beautiful pass here by Phillips. Walsh high in the middle off the fingertips of Leahy. No defense deep enough to keep it alive. Who can separate here in set number 3? Each of the first 2 sets, one of the teams got out to an early lead, held on to it. The trailing team made a push late, but couldn't quite stop the team who was in the lead the whole time from taking the first 2 sets. Here, I'm a lot closer. Big block as Stewart comes over to complete the 3-man wall to shut down Ben Putnam. Yep, you hear Volleyball barking out orders. Great move by Dante Stewart and excellent positioning setup by Chris Cox. Couldn't have said it better. And most importantly, it keeps Bruno at the service line where he is lethal. Putnam fights it off. Oshman out of the back row against 2 big blockers, looking for fingertips. And it is touched. The touch is detected. Called right away by our down official. So Boston successfully gets Bruno off the service line. Can they equalize with a break point here? Pretty good service pressure. Bruno out of the back row. Cross court dug by Oshman. Little tight, and Dante Stewart there to throw down that joust ball against Connor Adams, and Indiana goes back up by 2. (13-11) Team Pineapple. Rotation 5 received for Boston. Connor Adams, the front court setter. Beautiful move by Aprea. Leahy blocked on the back one. Aprea underneath it in coverage. Now Vautrin against 3 blockers. Bruno is there. A little bit of confusion, and Walsh can't sort himself out to keep that ball alive. Bit of a missed opportunity there for Team Pineapple. Serving 13. Leahy working on Phillips. Bruno out of the back row again, and stuffed straight down by Duns. It was a difficult pass for Cox to try and flick all the way back to the right side. Ball definitely died a little inside of where Bruno wanted it, and Duns slammed the door. We're tied up at 13. This is a really good flat, low float serve by Tom Leahy last time out. Can he do it again? Almost. Oh wait, that ball's called inbounds. Or is it? No, it's not. Ball is out of bounds, wide is the call. And Walsh returns the favor. Oh, that is a really bad service there by Connor Adams. Not even close to getting to the net. Looking at the official VLA database, coming into this weekend, we had already played 235 matches on the season. That doesn't include any of our 3 championship divisions this weekend, so we're way up over 150 at this point. That is a beautiful block by Vautrin on the right side to shut down Bruno. Boston finished the regular season at 8-9, but because of that East Division Cup win, they came into this tournament as the #1 seed. Definitely took their foot off the gas at the VLA Cup a little bit to prioritize this event after knowing that they got here by winning the East Division Cup. Team Pineapple finished the regular season at 6-11, but with 21 points, which is way more points than the average 6-win team. A lot of their losses coming in 5, which were worth a point. And that ball is touched on its way out of bounds. Yep, thumbs up from Bruno as the touch was detected. Duns to break a 16-16 tie. Good pass by Bertrand. Robles in the middle. Oh, that ball needs to be covered. And nobody there for Indiana. Mark Bergman in as a backcourt specialist for Trevor Phillips, just like we saw in set number 2. But nobody there to pick up that block touch. 17-16 bounce. And Bertrand dodges that float serve as it drifts out of bounds. And now another middle blocker substitution, number 9 in black, Kevin Owens. The big man out of Ball State replaces Matt Walsh. Owen's been with Team Pineapple for the better part of a decade. That is served out of bounds as well. Man, teams trading float service errors. That is not what you want to see in a championship match. Ooh, overpass by Stewart. Not handled super well though by Leahy, except that Boston gets away with it. Stewart just barely grazed the net. Net touch Indiana. 19-17 bounce. Hunter Oshman serving. The Purple Frogs have separated just a bit. Decent pass by Bergman. Bruno is stuffed straight down. What a block by Ben Putnam. Time out Team Pineapple. That is a huge momentum turning block and a 3-point bounce lead. 20-17 as they separate late in a dead tied match and what was so far been pretty much a dead tied set number 3. Not a great pass by Bergman. This will be an out-of-system swing for Stewart. Slowed down by a block touch. Putnam in transition, tipped, thrown back by Bruno, but still alive. Vautrin sends it over short, but way too short out of the back row. Team Pineapple back within 2 after the timeout, and look who's back to serve, Bruno Amorim da Silva. Crucial point right here. Pretty good pass by Vautrin. Leahy in the middle, through the blockers, and down to the floor in front of Bruno. That is a really clutch first ball side out for the Boston Bounce to get rid of a scary server and go back up by 3. Good fight off by Stewart, all the way to the right side to Bruno, through the block of Vautrin and out of bounds. Team Pineapple not done yet. And now, wow, look at this, a double substitution, the ball-ball connection. Loy ball is in. Number 1 in black in at setter. Number 14, Dyer ball, Loy's son in at opposite. Just a special thing that these two men get to do, to play with one another this VLA season. And Loy apparently is ready to go at 52 years old, and immediately a difference made by Dyer ball, a right-handed stuff block against Jeff Vautrin, and Indiana is within 1. Team Pineapple using every single body available on the bench throughout this match. Mark Bergman is still in the match in the front court right now, number 33 at outside hitter. Stewart to serve. Missed it out of bounds long. Loy ball is in the match, age 52. The legendary Olympic gold medalist from the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Ball in his hands here. He sets it to his son, and Dyer is slowed down by the block, except those Boston blockers touch the net. 21 serving, 22 for Kevin Owens. His first look at the service line since coming in. Owens makes an effort cross-court defensively, but a good one-on-one generated by Adams and put away by Vautrin for another 2-point lead, 23-21 Boston. Can they survive this late Indiana effort to push it over the finish line? Volleyball trying to engineer a side out and a break point somewhere. Connor Adams, the Boston setter, will serve. Ball to ball, ripped cross court by Dyer. Off the defense and out of here. Just can't overstate how incredible it is to see what we're seeing right now as the Ball family will now go back to the bench. Oh no, never mind. This will be the delayed 6-2 substitution. Loy back to the bench for Bruno. So Bruno in at opposite. Dyer Ball will serve here. The left-handed sidewinder spinner. And then we expect after he's done serving that Chris Cox will come back in for him to set. Dyer's first look at the service line is a pretty good one. Aprea handles it nicely. Vautrin tipped over the top. Robles makes the play. Hittable ball for Stewart out of the back row, but Dunn stands there and slams the door to take away that transition chance. Now the rest of the substitution pattern is complete. Cox is in to set. Set point Boston. 24-22, Jeff Vautrin, who just turned 30, for his Boston Bounce team to go up 2-1. Perfect pass. Bruno, deep cross court and down, not done yet. And now this is it. Can Indiana get a point on Mark Bergman's serve to force overtime? Rotation 2 received for Boston. 4 good hitting options, front court and back court. Tight pass though, and it's thrown down by Stewart. Overtime, 24-24. Mark Bergman's float serve caused just enough of a problem. And now it is the first to get 2 points clear, goes up 2-1 in the championship match. Overtime situation. The tension is huge, and so was that swing by Brandon Dunn. That was massive. Whoa. Set point coming up for Boston. They're going to have to do it the hard way now on their serve, but not before an Indiana timeout. I believe that's their second and final of the set. (25-24). Brandon Dunn's the middle blocker to serve for the Boston Bounce. Set point here in overtime. Indiana sides out, the set continues. Decent pass by Stewart. Bruno on the right side to stay alive, and they do. Off the block of Leahy and out of bounds. Volleyball barking out orders on the sideline, organizing the Indiana defense. Robles, you expect him to keep this float serve in play at least. Make Boston earn it. He does so. Oshman on the right side. A decent stab by Cox, but not controlled. Set point once again for the Bounce. Indiana is out of timeouts, and I think they're out of options as far as substitutions go because they've already had all their guys who come in and then out. Got to keep working, earn a side out. Boston with a chance right here to end it. Hunter Oshman to serve. Not a great pass by Bergman. Fixed by Cox, it rattles through the block. This could be the chance. Oshman out of the back row, comes up short. Wow, what a fix by Chris Cox. That was not a good pass by Mark Bergman, but he threw a hand at it and was able to put it in hittable position for Bruno. And then Boston did not take advantage of the transition opportunity. Bruno Amorim da Silva at 26 all. Can he deliver a jump serve? He sure can. Fought off brilliantly, though, by Putnam, who gets the ball on the left side and deep cross court, scores perfectly. What a great individual play that was. Bruno, by the way, turns 41 years of age tomorrow. Set point Boston again, 27-26. Bruno out of the back row to stay alive, and he does. Off the fingertips of Vautrin, and a diving Putnam can't quite get there. 27 all. Indiana has used both timeouts. I think that's kind of what Loy's asking right now, is what options does he have right now to make a change maybe, and maybe gain a little bit of a tiny advantage. But yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. I think he's wondering if Trevor Phillips is able to come back in the match, which if Indiana has enough substitutions, he would, but I think they've used 6. They used 4 in total for the double sub, 1 to bring on Bergman and 1 to bring on Owens. So no more substitutions. Stewart with a good serve. It rattles off the head of one of the Boston players, and that is 4 contacts. Yeah, definitely 4 contacts. That was, I think, off the fist of Aprea and into the head of one of his teammates. And oh no, excuse me, my apologies. Indiana is not out of substitutions. They are able to put in Trevor Phillips. 28-27, set point, Dante Stewart. Beautifully handled by Vautrin. Pipe combination to Putnam. That ball is the tiniest bit under set. It was hit out of bounds long, and Team Pineapple storms back to take set number 3 in overtime. 29-27. My goodness. Team Pineapple leads this championship match 2-1. Also, huge congratulations to the DC Dynasty out of Washington, D.C., who just on the court next to us just won the Tier 2 championship match, a 3-0 win over Team 9 out of Chandler, Arizona. Congrats to the DC Dynasty. And their first season ever in the VLA. They were brilliant throughout the East Division Cup, the VLA Cup, and they are your 2024 Tier 2 champions. So that match is over, and that leaves only this one. For a season that started all the way back in January, for something on the order of 250 matches played, coast to coast, all different levels, all different formats, men's Tier 1, men's Tier 2, women's, the whole thing. And it comes down to this. It comes down to the Boston Bounce, who won their first VLA Cup Series tournament this year with the #1 seed coming into this championship weekend, against the Cinderellas, Indiana Team Pineapple, who were at the very bottom of the Tier 1 standings for the entirety of the season until their backs were against the wall at the VLA Cup, and they made a miraculous run to make the playoffs by 1 point. And who in the world could have expected that Loy Ball's team would lead the championship match 2-1? What answer does Boston have? It's not going to come in terms of a lineup change. They have Ryan Jackson and Tyler Cundiff on the bench, but really only in case of emergencies. Kevin Owens gets the start at middle blocker across from Alejandro Robles for Indiana in this fourth set. Indiana serving on the far side to get us underway. Beautiful dig by Stewart, but Dunn's right on top of the net, taps it down in front of Bruno. Dunn's to serve. Float serve is comfortably out of bounds. Not a great service error there. Chris Cox back to serve. Sure, he's been taking some orders from Volleyball throughout this match. Been playing really consistently. Good serve there. Putnam slowed down by a block touch, but Stewart just barely not deep enough or not with long enough arms to reach it and bring it back. Here's Oshman. Good scoop by Vautrin in position 6 against Phillips. Putnam in transition to terminate, looking for the fingertip. No touch called, and I did not see one in real time. Trevor Phillips, born and raised in Muncie, Indiana. One of 2 flagship NCAA Division I programs in the state, both of which primarily fuel this Indiana Team Pineapple roster. Ball State and Purdue Fort Wayne. In the Boston area, the only Division I NCAA program is Harvard, but there are many great Division III programs this Boston Bounce team takes from, as well as a couple Division Is from elsewhere in the country. Big time block right there by Adams. The right-handed press from the setter out of Wentworth shuts down Dante Stewart. Putnam again. Bruno threw a seam in the block off the left shoulder of Tom Leahy. And Aprea couldn't react in time as Robles goes back to serve down by 1. Oh, look at that throw down by Adams. Oh, man. Front court setter making some plays here. Oh, thank you, Michelle, in the chat for correcting me. Trevor Phillips, born in Ohio, raised in North Carolina. Well, you can complain to the Team Pineapple staff for writing down incorrect information on the roster. Not the first time that's happened. Oh, nice pickup by Leahy, the middle blocker. Gets underneath that somehow, and then Leahy underneath it again. Vautrin slowed down by a block touch. Now Indiana in control on the offensive side. Bruno tipped over the top and not down yet. Vautrin, very little footwork, but he's able to tool the block. That was impressive. Extended rally, and Bruno not happy about something. I think he might have wanted a back row attack call against Ben Putnam earlier in the rally. 6-3 Boston as it stands. Ooh, nice flat float serve there by Leahy. Owens on the back 1, up and available. Maybe not pretty, but it's certainly good enough to score. Here is Bruno. I mentioned in the last set that he turns 41 tomorrow. Happy early birthday to him. Great service pressure there, and Adams can't get there in time to rescue that difficult pass into the antenna. Last touch by Boston, 1 point game. Bruno again. Vautrin has to stutter step, get underneath that ball. Bruno makes the play, but he's out of the offense. Pushed all the way to the outside for Stewart, and another block by Connor Adams. A huge impact by the Boston setter in this 4th set alone. But just generally in the match, he's made some really good front court plays. And his team leads by 2. Fatigue is very much a factor at this point in the match, at this point in the tournament, and at this point in the season. Bruno out of the back row against 3 blockers. He's rejected by Duns with Oshman and Vautrin there as well. No coverage. Yeah, 8-5 the correct score, making sure we got that correct at the scores table. It's correct on your screen. Here's Adams. Perfect pass. Bruno out of the back row again. Nice late touch there by Duns. Vautrin to terminate in transition through a tiny seam in the block and destroyed down the line. Man, I do not know how he found that gap. There was not very much space there at all between Cox and Owens, and Vautrin exploded through it. 9-5 bounce. Making a statement earlier in this 4th set that they are not done yet. Adams off the tape and into the antenna. Stewart comes up short there from the service line. Serving 6. Volleyball is jumping around, moving around, stretching on the Indiana sideline. And Vautrin comes up short. Perfect pass. Putnam ripped cross court off of the defensive effort of Owens and out of bounds. Ben Putnam been a really good pickup for the Boston Bounce in the later half of this season after he finished at Ohio State. Wow, heck of a float serve there by Duns. Stewart dug by Duns. Putnam against 3 blockers, tipped over the top. Bruno is there. Phillips scrambling to get a swing. He does. Oshman to Putnam, slowed down by the block again. Where does Cox go? Back to Bruno. Goes down the line and misses everything. No touch and well out of bounds. Timeout Indiana, trailing by 5. And it's looking like fatigue is setting in. Hard to blame either of these teams. But having enough fuel, having enough gas in the tank, being able to manufacture energy, something that is required in every VLA event, and this one is no exception. out of the timeout. Dunn serving again. 12 serving 7. Does Indiana have an answer? Find out if they can do it on their serve, because they get a freebie there from the baseline. Ooh, really good historical fact there from Vince that this could be the first ever championship match in VLA history to go 5. That is a very fun fact. Pretty good dig there by Stewart. Covered by Cox. Bruno gets his feet there to have a swing. Vautrin is there. And Leahy in the middle, right on the sideline. Bertrand disagrees. I thought that ball was in. Wherever it was hit with authority. Little championship history for you all. In 2020, the Chicago Icemen beat the New York Legion 3-0 to win that VLA title. In 2021, the Chicago Icemen beat the SoCal Rising Tide 3-1 to win that title in Orlando, Florida. Robles there on the good tap down in the middle for Team Pineapple. In 2022 in Chicago, Team LVC beat the Chicago Icemen 3-1. And last year, once again in Orlando, Florida, Team LVC out of New York beat this Boston Bounce team 3-0 to win that title. So Vince, you're absolutely right. No 5-setters ever in the history of the championship match of this league. And Bruno there off the block and just out of bounds. It is possible for this to go to 5, but no guarantees. Team Pineapple, as they really their hallmark, their calling card, or their special ability, especially when Lloyd Ball was playing a lot, was in his prime, is that they were the most clutch team in all of volleyball. They were the ones making plays after point 20. They were the one making comebacks. They were the ones winning overtimes, kind of like you saw in set 3 there. And no matter how much Lloyd Ball plays on the court, his presence to me matters for developing that skill in this Team Pineapple team. Winning late in sets is a skill. Good chop there off the block and out of bounds by Putnam. It's a skill that Boston has been working to develop for several years. They've come up short in a couple key championship matches. East Division Cup in 2022, they finished second. VLA Championship in 2023, they finished second. Nice rip down the line right there by Stewart. Boston, though, got the monkey off the back earlier this year, winning a really tight 3-1 match over the DC Dynasty to win the East Division Cup in New York. They believe that they can do it here, too. High flat swing by Vautrin. Nice quick delivery there by Adams. And he takes advantage of the hands of Kevin Owens. Tom Leahy's turn. Pretty good foot service pressure. Bruno on the right side challenges the block of Dunn's, and he wins the challenge. Gets a favorable deflection. And now what I assume will be the delayed 6-2 once again. Dyer ball comes in the front court for Chris Cox to block. Bruno is back to serve, and Lloyd Ball is taking off the sweatshirt on the sideline. He will come in and set when Bruno is done serving. How long can this run be? Perfect pass by Putnam. And off the block and out of bounds goes Dunn's in the middle. And now, sure enough, Lloyd Ball in for Bruno, and both of the Ball family members, numbers 1 and 14, on the floor for Indiana. Connor Adams to serve for Boston with a 3-point lead. Turn by Owens. Adams is underneath it. Chopped by Vautrin off the block, and Bergman is there. Ball to ball, but Dyer is rejected by Oshman. A nice block discipline, and started with some good defense by Connor Adams. Kevin Owens couldn't take a full swing. 4-point bounce lead. Ball to Stewart, straight over the top of the block and down. Very nice swing by number 25 in black, Dante Stewart, in rotation 1. And now Bergman will be replaced by Phillips, just as Indiana started the set. 3-point hole on the serve of Dante Stewart for Team Pineapple. Team Pineapple, of course, named after the trademarked play by Lloyd Ball. Front court setter dump to the deep position 5 corner. Pretty good block touch there. Phillips blocked and covered. Now Dyer ball on the right side, deep cross court, and Putnam is underneath it. Oshman dug by Bertrand. Ball gets a platform to it, high off the fingertips. Putnam there again. Can Vautrin take a swing and terminate finally? No, he can't. Two-handed, sent out of bounds. That was definitely wide, just barely. Out by a couple centimeters. Break point there on the serve of Dante Stewart, 15-17. Rotation 1 receive here for Boston. Stewart keeps it in play on Putnam. Tight pass, Phillips throws it down. Did he touch the net? No, it was the ball. Or was it? Yes, it was the ball, called by the down official. A lot of movement in the net. But our down official, Luis Ventura, was all over it, saying it was only the ball contacting the net. Point Indiana, time out Boston, 1-point game. Lloyd Ball trying to will his team to a comeback. Dante Stewart will continue to serve out of this timeout. What can Boston put together here to get out of rotation 1 and get Vautrin back to the service line with the chance to extend their currently 1-point lead? Back to action. Pretty easy serve from Stewart. Inside ball to Vautrin again. Destroyed on the right side on that back 2. Only one blocker in front of him. I like that mix-up from Boston. We've seen that a couple times now. Vautrin getting his feet to the inside with great effect. And now, sure enough, Vautrin with a chance to do some damage from the baseline. Rotation 2 receive. Both Ball family members ready to have an impact here. Sure enough, ball to ball. Dyer down the line off the block of Putnam and out of bounds. Those two just finished their collegiate careers against one another. Putnam at Ohio State. Dyer Ball in the MIVA as well at Ball State. Team Pineapple trails just by 1. Kevin Owens to serve. Comes up short on the floater, trying to go down the line. Brandon Duns. His first ever VLA tournament. Looking to come out on top as a champion. But no luck with that serve there. And now half of the delayed 6-2 substitution in effect for Indiana. Bruno is back to the front court at opposite. Dyer Ball will serve. Lloyd Ball to the bench. No setter on the floor right now, only for Indiana. Pretty good pressure from Dyer. Oshman slowed down by Phillips. Putnam against 2 big blockers, and I'm not sure why Phillips didn't go up. Yeah, Bertrand agrees. Excellent swing by Putnam cross court, taking advantage of some space that he probably shouldn't have had. And now the other part of the substitution is undone as Chris Cox, number 15, comes back into set for Team Pineapple. Hunter Oshman, already a champion this year at the East Division Cup. 1-point game. Phillips keeps the float serve in play. Leahy in the middle, tipped. Bertrand is there. Bruno has a swing for the tie, but he's way outside the antenna, and he wanted the touch. And got it. He got the block touch. Block touch is the call. Off of Leahy's right hand, reaching to the inside. I think Bruno gave him a high five, helping him do just make it sure that it was clear that it was touched. Let's put it that way. We are tied up at 20. Boston has led this entire set. Indiana engineering a comeback. Now it's anybody's game. 2-1 Indiana in the championship match. That is a no-doubter on the left side from Ben Putnam. And he will go back to serve. Just over the tape, Robles reacts. Stewart can have a swing. Oshman is there down the line. Vautrin for a 2-point lead against 3 blockers. Finds some space through it, plus an Indiana net violation, and a massive break point for the Boston Bounce. On the serve of Ben Putnam, but it's Jeff Vautrin with the veteran shot. Boston once again leads by 2, trying to force this championship match to a 5th set for the first time in league history. Bruno on the right side, off the block of Leahy and out of bounds. Owens to the front court to block. Robles back to serve for Indiana. Rotation 5 receive here for Boston. Leahy and Vautrin in the front court along with the setter Adams. Good pass by Aprea. Beautiful cross-court swing by Vautrin again. Boston is 2 side outs away from forcing a tiebreaker. Indiana needs side out and a break point from somewhere. Got to take care of this ball from Tom Leahy if you're an Indiana fan, and their receivers are up almost to the attack line to try and hand pass this float serve. But they don't need to as the float serve comes up short. Boston still in control as long as they can side out twice. But they're going to have to work hard to get Bruno Amorim da Silva off the baseline right here. Oh, Bruno comes up short. A huge sigh of relief on the Boston side. And now Connor Adams has a chance to serve for the set. He'll have to wait a moment to do so as Indiana calls their last timeout. That service error was pretty crucial right there by Bruno. Indiana going to get organized about a side out, and then they will need a point on whoever their next server is, probably Trevor Phillips, if I think I remember what rotation they're in. No, I believe it would be Dante Stewart would be the next server if Indiana sides out this ball. Connor Adams has a chance to end it right here and send us to a 15-point tiebreaker to decide the entire VLA season. Set point Boston. Perfect pass by Phillips. Stewart through the block and down. 23-24. This is the point right here. A very similar situation to the last set where Boston led 24-23 and had a chance in reception to win the set. Pineapple got the break point they needed and they ended up winning it in overtime 29-27. Can they do the same thing here? Dante Stewart obviously must serve inbounds. Rotation 1 receive for bounce. Decent pass by Putnam. Vautrin for the set, slowed down. Cox is there. Phillips to force overtime, slowed down by the block, and Putnam is there. Vautrin again, off the block and out of bounds. Phillips couldn't quite get to the line fast enough. Jeff Vautrin has won set number 4 for his Boston Bounce team, 25-23, and for the first time in the history of the league, the Tier 1 championship match will be decided in a 5th set tiebreaker. first to 15 takes home the trophy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is it. This trophy has waited long enough to be handed out. It's going home to someone. It's going home to the first team that can get to 15 points. And maybe it's not 15. Maybe it's overtime. Maybe we go 49-47 like Indiana did at their last event at the VLA Cup. But whatever it is, whoever wins this match and wins this season championship is going to earn it. And they're going to have to use every last drop of fuel that they have in the tank to get there. It is not going to be easy. But whoever wins this thing is going to be very, very deserving. I just put a poll in the YouTube live chat. Click that. Let me know who you think is going to win this thing. You better believe you're going to see at least a little bit of Loy Ball. He's not going to let this match, this tournament, this season go without him having some kind of impact. And the Boston Bounce had their backs against the wall just now. The pressure was on them to push that fourth set over the finish line, and they did. Let me know in the live chat who takes this thing home. The Boston Bounce in white and purple serving on the near side. The Indiana team pineapple in black and green receiving on the far side. First to 15 wins the championship of the season. And Boston has a chance in transition right away. Hunter Oshman against the one-on-one. Ripped cross court off of Cox into the floor. Perfect start for the Purple Frogs. Every point on serve magnified tremendously in a set only to 15, even if it's the first point of the set. Good work by Connor Adams, engineering this Boston offense to the doorstep of a championship. Bruno on the right side for Indiana, perfectly located cross court and touched by the block fingertips. It is Robles and Owens that get the start at middle blockers for Indiana this set. We've seen all four of them at some point in this championship match. Robles to serve here. Rotation one received for Boston. Vautrin on the right side through a block and a decent touch by Owens, but Phillips couldn't react in time to keep it in play. Jeff Vautrin just turned 30 years of age, founded this Boston Bounce team in 2021. Has a chance to win his franchise's first ever championship. And a missed connection in the middle, but Indiana gets the ball back. Bruno on the right side, hammered off the block of Putnam and out of bounds. Putnam not happy that he didn't get to the line in time to take that shot away. And Bruno goes back to serve, tied up at 2. He turns 41 tomorrow. Can he add another trophy to his illustrious career? Putnam chopped down the line. Bruno makes the play, but out of the reach of a diving Phillips. Boston's lead is 1. Brandon Duns. Middle blocker's float serve has been hit or miss this match. Almost missed that one, but the trickles over the tape gives Indiana some problems. But look at that swing from Dante Stewart. That is spectacular. Out of nowhere, he runs in off of 1 foot and rips it to the baseline. What a fix. That is amazing from number 25 in black. He goes back to serve now. Good pass by Vautrin. Oshman on the right side, slowed down by Phillips. Transition chance here. Bruno, deep cross court and scores. Indiana takes the lead 4-3. Stewart has come up huge already in this tournament and in this match. Puts a good serve in play there. A brilliant pass from Aprea and a perfect swing cross court by the high-flying Ben Putnam. Great reception work there by number 7 in black and purple. 4 apiece for Hunter Oshman. And not the best toss there. Couldn't keep that serve inside the baseline. Now Owens' turn for Indiana. Bump set out to Putnam. Pretty good block move by Robles to slow it down. Cox to Bruno. Aprea diving, gets the block touch off the floor. Now Leahy in the middle. Good reaction there from Phillips. Cox takes a swing. The front court setter slaps the ball through the block and down. And Team Pineapple leads by 2 after a crazy pinball scramble play. And Kevin Owens is actually going to get an assist on that. I don't think he knew a thing about it. Good pass by Aprea again. Putnam with the left hand. Look at that athleticism. Man, Ben Putnam looking ambidextrous on that play as his team is back within 1. Now work to do for Putnam from the service line. So we make sure the floor over on the Indiana side is dry and safe. Who has the energy? Who has the fuel to get to 15 points first? Rotation 6 received for Indiana. Putnam keeps it in play. Overpass by Stewart. Leahy for the tie. Crushed in the middle off the chest of Bertrand and down. Excellent service from Ben Putnam, and now a middle blocker substitution. Big Matt Walsh, 6'11", replaces Alejandro Robles. Bertrand fights that one off. Phillips through the seam in the block. He hangs just long enough to beat the Boston block and retake the lead 7-6. Pretty easy serve. Aprea handles it nicely and rocketed cross court by Jeff Vautrin. Vautrin looking like a young man out there with that arm swing. Tied up at 7. After this point, the teams will change sides. Leahy working on Phillips. Bruno on the left side, deep cross court, not good hand contact, and he missed it out of bounds. It is Boston who leads 8-7 at the side change. Volleyball barking out orders again as Team Pineapple rotates over to the near side of your screen. Boston with just 9 bodies on the roster. Lead by 1 with the championship less than 10 points away. Tom Leahy serving again. Rotation 1 receive for Team Pineapple. Phillips on the right side, underset ball, and he's slam blocked by Vautrin. Oh my goodness, Boston doing work in this rotation. A 3-0 run from 7-6 down to 9-7 up. Time out, Team Pineapple. I see right now that 62% of the live chat thinks that the Boston Bounce are going to win this 5th set, according to the poll that I put in there. Indiana needs to get out of rotation 1, and then I expect that a couple rotations later we might see ball and ball. (9-7) for Tom Leahy. His float serve has been very productive for 2 points now. Can Indiana get out of this rotation? Not a good pass. Bruno just has to keep the ball alive. Adams, the front court setter, throws it down. Phillips is there. Now Bruno has a swing chance, and through the block and down he goes. Indiana gets the side out they were looking for. Mark Bergman comes off the bench to defend, serve and defend for Trevor Phillips, as we've seen throughout the match. Decent pass by Aprea. Vautrin cross court. Bertrand is there. Bruno's going to have a swing for the tie, and he rockets it through the block and down cross court. 9-9. Just a little bit of an imperfect pass by Jordan Aprea on Mark Bergman's float serve set up that block defense chance. 9-all. The margins razor thin. Better pass there by Aprea. One-on-one from Vautrin. Pretty good touch by Bruno, but not quite good enough. 10-9 bounce. Connor Adams has set a brilliant match in a brilliant tournament. Here he is at the service line. Chris Cox in the backcourt for Indiana with 3 attacking options. One-handed feed to Walsh, but what a block by Brandon Duns. A huge left-handed reactionary move to get up and shut down the big man. A massive break point for the Boston Bounce. 11-9, Adams again. Not a great pass. Stewart gets his feet way to the inside, takes a confident rip and scores. I have no idea how Dante Stewart has killed a couple of the balls that he has killed in this 5th set. Unbelievable. Matt Walsh started the match, was on the bench for the better portions of sets 3 and 4. Can he put a serve in play here? Yes, he can. Pretty good pass by Putnam. Oshman through the block, and a net violation against Indiana. That play might have been made defensively by Stewart, but negated by the violation. 12-10 bounce. They are in the driver's seat right now. Jeff Vautrin serving 3 points from the title. Perfect pass by Bergman. Bruno cross court off the tape and out of bounds wide. No touch by, oh my goodness, no touch by Duns. 13-10 bounce, timeout Indiana. I think Indiana wants to put in the double substitution of ball and ball, but they have to wait at least one more rotation to do so. They would do, if they can side out this ball, they would put Dyer ball in for Chris Cox as Bruno serves. Then they would put Loy ball in for Bruno when he's done serving. But you got to side out first. Jeff Vautrin has his team 2 points away from their first championship ever. It's these points, these last couple points that are the hardest to get. Jeff Vautrin with the ball, the team, and the Boston volleyball community in his hands. Perfect pass there by Stewart. Bruno through the block, kicked and still alive. Bruno again, tipped and rejected. Unbelievable. Brandon Duns reacted, kicked that ball, kept it alive. I think he got low, got underneath it. Jordan Aprea kicked it to keep it alive, and now Boston has championship point. It is 14-10. Jeff Vautrin has a serve to take the trophy home to Boston. Could this be it? Bertrand fights it off. Stewart to stay alive. Chopped out of bounds down the line. It is over. The VLA championship in 2024 is shipping up to Boston, and the Boston Bounds, for the first time in franchise history, are your 2024 Volleyball League of America Men's Tier 1 champions. Unbelievable. The boys from Boston have gone through the grind of an entire season, a 5-set banger in the final for the first time in league history, and they are flying home east with the trophy in hand. And speaking of the trophy, I am honored to go and present it to Jeff Vautrin and his team right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself. Jeff, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you even speak and wrap your mind around what just happened just now? You just won a VLA championship in a 5-set banger against an Olympic gold medalist.
It feels pretty surreal. It feels pretty surreal. We got a great group of young guys here, and we were battling all weekend. Oh man, that last 5-setter, that was a grind.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally a grind. The kind of the way that a lot of our VLA events work, they are a grind. It takes insane levels of stamina and ability to conserve energy, and this tournament was no question. What did it take for your roster of basically 9 guys to go 4-0 this weekend, and with a 5-setter in the final, take your first trophy?
Yeah, we had a solid group of 9 guys here. We played the same 7 all 4 games, but we had Ryan and Tyler on the bench giving us great input, helping us out in every way they can. And hats off to Jordan on that last kick save.
Oh, that was
oh,
ridiculous.
We had the momentum with us there. That was awesome.
That was ridiculous. So I hear you have was it your birthday yesterday or today?
Yesterday, yeah. I actually just turned the big 3-0.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your parents were in the chat giving you the shout out for that. Dude, I'm staring it down. It's coming up next month for me. Happy birthday to you, my friend. What does this mean to you personally? You started this Boston Bounce franchise in 2021, got promoted the following year. You've made the playoffs each of your 3 years in Tier 1, and now you won the big one. What does this feel like for you and what you've just done for the Boston volleyball community?
Yeah, it was a great progression throughout the years for our program. I think we came in like either fourth or third the first year, second last year, and then we finally pulled through first place this year. The Boston community for volleyball, it may be small, but it's strong. We got a great group. Great shout out actually to our youth partnership with Smash Volleyball. It was great to see my boy Ben play with Smash and now play with Bounce, so that was awesome. There it is.
That is awesome.
There it is.
There's a trophy. Yeah, Ben Putnam, a huge pickup. I watched him play at Ohio State this year. He's a kid from Needham, right?
Yes.
So he played for the club that you guys partner with, and now here he is playing for you guys. Like, you can't write it up any better than that.
It was, honestly, it was a really cool kind of team with the community we built. I coached Ben his 17s and 18s year at Smash. I coached Jordan his years at LaSalle. And then we've obviously played against a lot of those Wentworth boys too. So we have a long history with us. We're not just a group of random guys playing volleyball. We're a group of great friends, just every single day. But yeah, it's been awesome.
How about that East Division Cup that you guys won back in Albany? It had been you had a couple chances since you've been in the VLA to win a couple major tournaments, and you'd come up just short a couple times. What sort of confidence did it give you guys that you won that one back in Albany, and do you think that helped you in this tournament?
I think it did. I think over the years in big moments, we're a big group of D3 guys for the most part. So, we're no stranger to the battle. But finally just overcoming that East VLA Cup and then coming here, we knew we had what it takes to really lock in when it needed to be. And we showed that today. So it was overall a great performance, and that East Cup really set us up here for the championship.
Overall, a great performance is right. It was a record-setting season for the VLA in a lot of ways. I think we played something like 250-ish total matches, not including exhibitions, which is outrageous. And the biggest one, the last one, goes to you guys. Tell me about this season and just kind of what the VLA has meant for the opportunities that you and your guys have gotten to play this great volleyball now for your fourth season.
Yeah, I think overall, after college, me and a few of my buddies, we just wanted to still compete. So making the VLA team out in Boston Bounce, associating with a top juniors club in the New England area with Smash Volleyball Club, gave us all opportunity to keep balling, keep hanging out with the boys, and just keep having a great time. And I'm not going to lie, I love playing alongside these guys. Even when we're struggling, it's still a great time. So, yeah, overall, great for the Boston community. That is great.
That's what it's all about. Hanging out with the boys at weekends like this, even off the court, is some of my favorite parts when we get to come here. And this big old nationwide coast-to-coast family that we've created. Yeah. We only get one winner at the end of the day, my friend. Congratulations. Rob. Congratulations.
Hey, also shout out to big boy Rob over here. He's handling everything over here, making us look great. So just want to give you a shout out to, and happy birthday in a month. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, buddy. We'll join that elite club together.
Yeah.
Jeff, congratulations. Get a couple beverages in you. Get some celebrating done, and get this thing back to the East Coast safely. All right.
Will do. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, bud. Thank you. Right? Yeah, you can hear yourself in it. How about that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rob St. Clair. This has been the 2024 Volleyball League of America season. It is over. It is done. We are going to enjoy some well-deserved off time, but the league continues to grow. If you want to get involved, whether you want to put a team in, whether you want to join a team, whether you want to help us in all, there's many ways that we need help to just make this league happen. We want everybody to be involved. We care about the league being inclusive and open, and we want you all to be a part of it, however. So get in touch with us if you like what you see and you want to be a part of it. Can't wait for the next season. Got some big things in the works behind the scenes. We thank you all so much for watching. Thanks again to some of our partners, Novice, Mikasa, Stat Together, the JVA and AAU. Thanks to Team Woot for the production. Thanks to our board of directors and all the other people that helped to execute the VLA and make this stuff possible. My name's Rob St. Clair from Cincinnati. Thanks as well to the Spooky Nook facility for hosting us at 2 major events this year. We will see you in the 2025 season.